So the other guy they could take, another guy they could take at 3 is Trey Lance. This guy played at North Dakota State, same place Carson Wentz played. Very inexperienced. Only played basically one season. Their season got canceled this year because of the pandemic, but had a great pro day. Some people, Daniel Jeremiah with NFL Network compared him to Josh Allen, who's hell of a player. Do you think Trey Lance is the target?
I am so excited after spending a couple hours on this, and I have to say I'm guilty of Pat Mahomes syndrome, something that you and I have talked about how at this time in Mahomes' draft, everyone was saying he's a second or third round pick. Why? Oh, he went to Texas Tech. Nobody good comes out of there. It's a fake offense. How could he be any good?
True.
And I was guilty of looking at Trey Lance and thinking, man, sure is a good runner. I mean, he's an awesome running back, and you know, that's probably what he's going to be. And, you know, and I was guilty of not taking a deeper dive. I took a deeper dive, and he's the guy, man. He's the one they're going for. And let me tell you a couple reasons why. First of all, they run the closest thing to a pro offense in North Dakota State. And if you look at his 2019 season, he had 30 passing touchdowns and 1 interception. He had 2 turnovers in his whole career. He had 46 total touchdowns, 2 turnovers, and he was undefeated in his career, playing out of a pro-style offense where he's under center most of the time. Yeah, he runs the ball a lot, but he throws on the run, he throws rollouts, and he runs a lot of plays that you would, you know, see the 49ers running. Also, Daniel Jeremiah said during the pro day that he had the most responsibility of any quarterback in college football, meaning he's probably the most ready to start on day one. What do we mean by responsibility? He had to call the protections. It wasn't the center calling the protections. It was him at the line. He was also calling. He had 3 different plays he could choose from at the line.
Oh, wow.
So he's a cerebral guy. He's also got the strongest arm of any of the quarterbacks in the draft. That's pretty clear. You know, he's got to shorten up his release a little bit, but he's used to being under center. He's used to directing motion. He's used to calling protections, you know, and he's running offense. It's very much like ours. And if you go and look at some of those rollout touchdowns that he's thrown, man, I mean, he's 6'4", 235, durable. He's never lost. He's cerebral. He's a leader. And I think he's ready to start on day one. He's got a really high ceiling. And I think, like I said, I was guilty of Pat Mahomes syndrome. This guy's got a real talent, and I think he's the one we're zeroing in on.
I think that Trey Lance is higher on their board than Justin Fields is. I'm with you there. I think they would prefer Trey Lance because you can see how it would translate to the Niners offense. You can see him under center. You can see him do the play fakes, turn his back, roll out, both left and right. You can't see that with Justin Fields as much. He's much more in a spread offense. It's not as much what Kyle is doing. So I think they'd be intrigued. I just felt like I was thinking that the Niners might take Trey Lance at 12. I was thinking that of the top 5 quarterbacks, he would be the one to fall because he's the least experienced. He's the one that you'd think would maybe most benefit from a year on the bench. The Niners could still keep him on the bench for a year. They said they're going to keep Jimmy Garoppolo, that they're not necessarily getting rid of him yet. We'll see about that. So they could do it. They could. But really, do you trade up to 3? I just felt like he'd be there at 12. Maybe the Falcons are going to take him at 4. Yeah, maybe it's possible that they felt not after that pro day. We got to move up to 3 to get Trey Lance. I just feel like here's the thing. It's like everything about him is a small sample size. So you could look at a few clips of his good throws and be like, man, that's special. And then you could look at a few clips of his bad throws and overreact to that and be like, man, that's just
He doesn't have that many. He only turned it over twice in his whole career. I mean,
no, I'm just talking in terms of inaccuracy, not in terms of bad decision making, but just in terms of inaccuracy. Because if you look at his passing charts, when you get beyond 10 yards down the field, his passing chart, his accuracy numbers aren't as good as the other guys in the class. So there are reasons to say that he might be a straight up boomer bust prospect. And I feel like there's not enough tape there to know. It's very risky. It's very risky.
I was not at all on the Trey Lance bandwagon before today because I just had my own assumptions about what he was. But I watched every game in the 2019 season when they went undefeated and won their national championship. And, you know, I was convinced, he didn't throw a lot of deep balls, but he went through the progressions, and that's not the plays that were called. He didn't have Alabama wide receivers. He had big corn-fed white dudes, you know, that are slow, you know, and he was hitting them on rollouts and stuff. And let's not forget, he's a special runner too. And
question.
They use his running ability to give jump throws like Cam Newton style and to like open up the rollouts and everything. And I mean, some of those runs he busts off, they are just crazy. And that's going to open up a lot on the passing game too, because he has that running ability, but he can do it out of a pro style offense that like Kyle runs. So I'm really convinced and excited, and I think he's the one. But
I think he's a better runner than Justin Fields as well. Justin Fields might be faster, but I think he's more shifty and more creative and just a better feel for it.
Justin Fields runs straight, you know.
Yeah, I agree. Trey says Trey Lance could be had at 10 or 12, so why sell the barn for the 3rd pick to get someone who could have been gotten at 12 or even
We
the
don't
9
know
spot.
that.
That's what I'm saying. But that's my question too. I mean, I think the talent, when you look at him and he gets the Josh Allen comparison, that you could say, well, maybe he is worth the 3rd pick. But the fact that he has no playing background, that there's no experience, I think might have pushed him down the board. But I have no idea. It's hard to tell.
We don't know. Yeah,
we don't know.
I mean, like I said, that people told you could have Pat Mahomes at the 35th pick. This time.
And we have no idea what the Niners are going to do. But I think we both agree that Trey Lance is more realistic than Fields at that spot.